And we are live on the TMG Racing Network for tonight's coverage of the 2021 Integrity Racing League Race 7 here at the Martinsville Speedway. You are joining us now with 3 minutes remaining in a warm-up. I am Jonathan Oates to bring you coverage of tonight's Integrity Racing League event. We're all very happy that you're spending your Monday night with us here on TMG as the Integrity Racing League drivers are set to take on 250 laps of the famed Martinsville Speedway, about the length of a NASCAR iRacing Series race around here. 3 minutes, 30 seconds remaining in warm-up. Now, as we are, of course, 7 races into the 2021 season, let's take a look at the top 5 in points as we go into the historic Martinsville Speedway. It is Ethan Lane leading the points with 228 on the board, the only driver in the top 5 to have a win on the season. Brad Patton in second, 213 points to his name. Jacob Fyfe, Tom Wetmore currently tied for third with 203 points each. Nick Terebuch currently 5th, rounding out your top 5 in points. Brent McCoy, P6 in points, about 10 points back from Terebuch. Another 2 back from McCoy is Cody Smith, followed by Lee Pierce and Justin Trombley. Trombley, one of the drivers with the least amount of starts on the season, but still has 2 victories to put him P9 in the point standings, 172 points to his name. Jay Heishman, P10. Chris Ryan, she is in P11. And Todd Thomas rounds out the top 12 in points. You're joining us here at the Martinsville Speedway. Like I said before, in Martinsville, one of the most historic tracks on the NASCAR calendar, but one that's often overlooked by tracks like Atlanta and Darlington. But make no mistake, it definitely provides a challenge of its own. The half-mile racetrack with concrete in the bottom of the corners and asphalt all the way at the top, sure to provide a very interesting racing challenge for the drivers looking to take on the track nicknamed the Paperclip tonight. 250 laps. Let's go over some of the keys for tonight's race. Number 1 is going to be patience. You got to make sure that you're timing your moves right. There's way more ways to pass than just booting a guy out of the way, and you got to make sure that you are setting up your passes correctly, getting down to the inside before you get to the corner, and making that pass as cleanly as possible, at least early in the race. I'm sure by the time we get to the end of this thing, drivers are going to be using their front bumpers, trying to move guys out of the way and get to their inside, and that's going to be one of the main ways to complete the pass. This track is just so bottom dominant. That's really the main way around a guy, but earlier on in the race, you just want to save your stuff. You don't want to make any enemies too early on, and being able to set up that pass is going to be crucial for tonight's race. Of course, we have to give a shout out to the league sponsors, Pro Powder and Paint. Pro Powder and Paint is the proud series sponsor of the Integrity Racing League. Established in 2009, Pro Powder and Paint can take care of any and every painting and powder coating need, from restoring cars to powder fixtures to powder coating fixtures and frames large and small. Pro Powder and Paint has dedicated professionals on hand to take care of all your needs. Feel free to call 804-368-8453 or go to www.propowderpaint.com and get a quote today. Just about a minute remaining in warm-up. The league admin's using this time to go through the drivers' meeting. We're going to go over some notes for tonight's race. In addition to patience, one of the most important things about tonight's race is saving your rear tires. Grip can fall away quickly if you are scrubbing your rears on exit, just getting a little too aggressive with that throttle pedal. And I think we're going to see throughout the night these drivers really focusing on saving their rear tires, because those front tires are not going to be as important as you might think. Another thing that's going to be crucial is that with the fixed setup that these cars are using, it's the same one that if you've ran B-Fix this week, then I'm sure you're all too familiar with. It's a very tight setup. It's very tricky to get through the center of the corner. So you're going to see a lot of these drivers getting their cars down into third gear in order to make these corners as quickly as possible. That, of course, is going to be a detriment to your rear tires as you accelerate out of the corners with a lot more wheel spin than you would have in fourth. However, it could be worth it for a little bit extra lap time. It's going to be one of the elements that these drivers are going to have to struggle with tonight as we head into this 250 lap race. Patience going to be key, along with managing your tires. Those are going to be the 2 things that are most important to success over the long run in tonight. But of course, if we end up with a lot of short runs, which is more than possible here at the Martinsville Speedway, if you've done any official racing or any league racing this week, really, I'm sure you are all too familiar with your spotter calling out a yellow flag. We are probably going to see a handful of those tonight. Hopefully, we don't have to go over 20 of those, but at Martinsville, it can be quite chaotic. Anything can happen. So we'll have to see how this race progresses. We'll see if we can get some longer runs, if drivers can just kind of stay patient, get into a nice rhythm, or if we're going to see a lot of drivers going for those passes early on. Just taking a look now at your starting lineup. Your pole sitter going to be the number 83 of Guillermo Alvarez. He's come very close to quite a few wins this season. Joining him in the front row is going to be the number 26 of Ethan Lane. Lane, one of the best road course drivers in the field, and Martinsville basically drives like a road course with only left turns. So being good on road courses could be key to success here tonight. We know Ethan Lane has the stats to back that up. Of course, he won race 2 at the Daytona road course all those weeks ago. Row 3 going to be the number 4 of Nick Terebuch. Joining him is the 1 car of Brad Patton. Row 3, the 48 of Alec Daffin. Alongside him, the car number 94. Still just trying to get used to some of these names. Still pretty early in the season. Of Alan Rowell. Pace car rolling off now. 4 car Nick Terebuch looks to be serving an EOL. He is going to be going to the back to start tonight's race. Singer pole sitter going to be the number 83 of Guillermo Alvarez. Came oh so close to his first win of the season back in Homestead. Just fell off over the long run to Justin Trombley. But I do not believe Trombley is joining us tonight. So it is going to be the 83 of Guillermo Alvarez rolling off from the front. The 4 car Nick Terebuch having to serve an EOL goes to the back of the field. Track position going to be important, especially preventing drivers from getting to your inside. Protecting that bottom line going to be very, very crucial to success tonight at Martinsville. So the 4 car Nick Terebuch going to be behind the 8 ball early on. The rest of the field going to have an advantage over him, particularly that 83 Guillermo Alvarez, one of the most aggressive drivers on the short run, going to be leading him to green here at Martinsville. Patience going to be key. Managing your tires going to be key. Field rolling through turns 1 and 2. Pace car going to make that left turn onto the infield. Here we go at Martinsville. The paperclip about to get underway. It's Alvarez on pole. We are... Here we go. Green, green, green. We're underway from Martinsville. And a good start by Ethan Lane on the outside line is going to see him into P1. Locking up is the 83 of Alvarez as they struggle through turns 1 and 2. The field fanning out behind, but it is going to be the number 1 car, Ethan Lane, getting away early on. Side by side for second. Alvarez and Patton going to go side by side through 3 and 4, but the first caution of the night, they're wrecking down on the back straightaway. Adam de Blasio spun around. Brad Fulham appears to be in trouble as well. Caution flag flying for the first time tonight. We'll take a look at a replay. It was Adam de Blasio who got into trouble with that 2 car. Just a little bit of contact sends him into the outside wall and around. First caution of the night. Unfortunate for Adam de Blasio as well. He's doing pretty well early on. This is going to put him back in traffic. He will have to work his way back from P last at the moment. P27, the last spot on the grid. So the lights are out on the pace car. Signifying our first caution of the night. Ethan Lane taking over the lead early on. $250 laps ahead of these drivers, so quite a lot of time to be patient, but it looks like early on these guys going for all the spots they can, fighting as they go into turn number 3. Of course, just a little bit of late braking puts us under our first yellow flag of the night. You also got to keep in mind iRacing's damage model, pretty sensitive to contact, even if it is light. So that combined with a little bit of impatience, a little bit of late braking, puts us under our first yellow. We'll be going back green shortly, though. I'm guessing these drivers are getting 2 to green just about now. You saw right there, not even a 1-lap run before our first caution flew. So I think we're going to see quite a lot of chaos tonight. A lot of drivers getting spun around, a lot of hurt feelings. We'll just have to see how the race develops, although I am guessing that after a caution that quick, everyone might be trying to just kind of get into a rhythm here, just kind of calm down for a bit. Very respectful group of drivers in the Integrity Racing League, so it wouldn't entirely surprise me to see a couple of drivers just trying to calm down, try and get into a run. We'll see if these guys get 1 to green this time by, and if we can get this race back underway. Like they're still on the pace car. A few more laps of pacing before we get this race restarted. This is our first caution of the night. You're joining us here at the Martinsville Speedway for race 7 of the Integrity Racing League. Like I said early on, Ethan Lane, one of the best drivers in the field on road courses. He is right now up into the race lead. It's going to be crucial to have track position, especially if we end up with a lot of short runs tonight. Rolling 3 and 4, I'm thinking now we're going to get one to green. Lights are out on the pace car. We're going back green this time by. No choose cone for tonight. That's one of the main differences between this race and the last at Atlanta. Speaking of which, you did not witness that Atlanta race on TMG. We were not able to make it that night, but it was Caitlin Height who took her first win of the season at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. Here we go, coming back to green. Pace car going to make that left turn into the infield. Ethan Lane going to restart the race from P1. Green, green, green. We're back going at Martinsville.
Green flag, green flag.
And a mega restart by Ethan Lane. Sees him out front in front of Alvarez and Patton. Diving down towards turn number 1. Daffin trying to work the outside line on Patton. Lane way up the hill. Is able to keep his lead, but he went way wide in turn 1. Down towards turn number 3. Everyone keeping it straight so far. Jordan Gonzalez side by side with Jody Banfield. Banfield going to make that outside line work. We've made it a lap green. Everyone single file at the moment. The 27 car field staying clean. Bit of a scramble off turn 2. A couple of drivers going wide, but everyone makes it cleanly to turn number 3. On board with Ethan Lane as he pulls the lead from Guillermo Alvarez. Down towards turn number 3. A little bit of contact with the outside wall. Going to see Alvarez putting the pressure back on. You just hear how much they have to back down through the center of the corners. 2 laps green so far. Everyone's single file now. Jordan Gonzalez, number 8 car, up into P8. A little bit up the hill in 3 and 4. Wetmore looking to take advantage. Once again, Gonzalez just a little bit wide. Maybe trying to point Wetmore through on the inside. Almost a little bit of contact. Wetmore going to back out of the move. Not going for it just yet. Heisman a little bit wide on entry. Wetmore still looking at that move on Gonzalez. They are going to stay single file. Back up to the race lead. Ethan Lane leading over Guillermo Alvarez. Alec Daffin currently in P number 3. Single file throughout a majority of the field, but about 4 cars under a blanket for this race lead. Working lap 11. Alvarez down to the inside. A block by Lane's going to see him out wide. Contact as they go through turn number 1. Daffin getting stacked up side by side for the lead for the first time tonight. It is Alvarez trying to muscle his way through the inside. For the lead, the number 83 car going to take it over Ethan Lane. Lane drops back in line. Lead change for the first time tonight. It is Alvarez back to the point. Here comes Ethan Lane back down the inside. Oh, he's going to go a little bit through the grass there. Nearly drifted up. Oh, we got trouble. Alec Daffin around. They're wrecking in 1 and 2. Caution is out. Field scrambles to avoid him, but that is a pretty long green flag run. Daffin bringing out our second caution of the night. Going to get it refired. Might just have to wait for the field here, though. Going to try and get it spun back around. Leader at the time of caution was Guillermo Alvarez. And it all happened when Ethan Lane went through the grass at turn number 1. We'll take a look at a replay. And you're gonna see Lane just gets a little loose under braking, stacks up in front of the 48 of Daffin. Daffin gets tagged in the left rear quarter panel, and around he goes. So unfortunate for the driver of the number 48, had a good run going so far. He's gonna see himself back into 27th. Update on Nick Terebuch. He has worked his way up into 20th after that EOL penalty to start this race. But a decently long green flag run before our second caution of the night. Leaves me a little bit hopeful that these drivers might just be trying to get into a rhythm here. Your top 2 still Alvarez and Lane. Lane, the driver, took a little bit of an excursion through the grass down towards turn number 1. Working lap 15 of 250. No one coming into the pit lane just yet. Stages for tonight at lap 60 and 130. No points, no caution for the stages, but there are points awarded to the top 10. I'll try and get you all an update on tire sets for tonight, although I do believe there are 4 tire sets available for the drivers in the pits. We'll get confirmation on that now. A fuel run going to be around 125 laps, I think, at most. So these drivers could, in theory, make it on a one-stop. I have a feeling we're not going to get enough green flag runs to have that happen. Alright, I was correct. There are 4 tire sets available for these drivers. I believe that might actually include the tires that are on the car at the moment. So that might just be 3 extra in the pits. Lights are still on the pace car. I'm guessing these drivers have 2 to green. Bit of a recap of last week at Atlanta. It was Ethan Lane who took stage 1. Brad Patton would take stage 2, but it was Caitlin Height who would be the overall winner of that race. Your top 5 at Atlanta was Adam de Blasio, Ethan Lane, Trevor Trago, and Brad Fulham. After 134 laps completed, de Blasio lost out to Height by about 0.2 of a second. So a very close margin of victory. Caitlin Height also got herself 5 additional playoff points for that race. By virtue of being the race winner, Ethan Lane and Brad Patton both with 1 for their stage wins. So here we go for the restart. It is going to be Ethan Lane on, it is going to be Guillermo Alvarez as your race leader. Going to restart from P1. Pace car is off. Green flag is back out. Green, green, green. We are back on our way. Down towards turn number 1. Guillermo Alvarez leading the charge. Ethan Lane down into P2. Looking throughout the field. Everyone getting through cleanly. And everyone going to make it clean through turns 1 and 2. Back towards turn number 3. Guillermo Alvarez leading the way over Lane and Fyfe. Side by side for 4th with Jody Banfield and Alan Rowell. Rowell trying to roll the top on Banfield. Trying to get back down to that bottom line. He can't really do much from the top here at Martinsville. At least not on iRacing. Banfield going to try and get clear of Rowell. Rowell hoping he does get clear of Banfield. Rowell going to have the run off turn 4 on Tom Wetmore. He is going to slot in line. Rowell going defensive into turn number 1. A couple of cars under a blanket behind. Michael Dewell on the inside of Jay Heischman. Todd Thomas side by side with Cody Smith. That battle for 11th. Now Thomas going for more down the inside of Jay Heischman. Rolling that bottom line, going to get himself up into 11th. Eric Crow side by side with the 43 of William Dunn. Dunn had a very impressive run at Las Vegas. Right now he's rolling that top, trying to get back down to the bottom. No battle for the lead to speak of. It is Guillermo Alvarez pulling a 5/10 advantage, now 6/10 advantage over Ethan Lane, rolling through 3 and 4. Jacob Fyfe trying to get the move on Ethan Lane, single file for a majority of the field. Up the track goes Tom Wetmore behind, stacking up Christopher Scheffler. Everyone keeping it clean, though. For the most part, single file throughout the field. The main battle on track between Heischman and Dunn. Dunn going to get clear of Heischman now. For a second there, Zotner looked at the move on Heischman, backed out of it. Nick Terebuch has worked his way up into 14th after his 3rd place qualifying effort. Adam de Blasio got spun early on. He's going for the move on Kevin Winker. Side by side with the 42. Winker way up the track, all the way up into the asphalt. But a nice green flag run developing at the moment. Always nice to see some green flag racing here at Martinsville. Eric Crow with a run off turn 4. Going to look down the inside of Cody Smith. Blinking out just a moment. Lock up out of the 78 of Todd Thomas. Side by side for 8th. Trevor Trago and Michael Dewell. We'll keep you updated on this battle. It's the closest towards the front. Getting a little closer to the center of the corner. Jordan Gonzalez going down the inside. Trying to keep that spot. Trago holding on strong on the outside. Lock up out of the 42. Or I guess 72. Down the back straightaway. Gonzalez inching ahead towards turn number 3. It looks like he is going to have the spot. Working lap 27 of 250. Up into P8 goes Jordan Gonzalez. Still, Trevor Trago trying to hold on to the outside. Trago going out wide. Dewell going to take advantage. Down the inside he goes. Side by side for 10th. So the last stage point as well could come in handy. if this race goes green to lap 60, which it's looking like it might. Everyone's getting a little bit spread out at the moment. Michael Llewell clear of Trevor Trago going to turn number 3. Trago fighting back on the outside. That's turn number 1, not 3. Cody Smith now side by side with Eric Crow. They're going to single file out down the back straightaway, but Terebuch looking at the dive. Smith not committed to the bottom. 5-car battle right behind Todd Thomas for 10th. Working lap 29 of 250. Crow getting awfully close to the bumper of Thomas. Thomas going to clear both Trago and Crow back towards turn number 3. Crow going down the inside on Trago. Going to arc it out wide, blinking out a little bit, but he's going to get a nice run off turn 4. Going to give him that 12th place spot. Trago falling back on the high side. Now Nick Terebuch down the inside. Up the track go Trago and Smith. Now Terebuch down the inside. Going to clear for 12th. William Dunn now looking to take advantage, going down the inside of Trago. Trago losing out big time on that high side. Oh, but trouble, William Dunn, it's the curbing! Caution is out. That's going to be our 3rd caution of the night. Dunn got into the curbing and slid in front of the field. That could have been a dangerous spot, so a good call to bring out the caution. 3rd caution of the night coming on lap 31 of 250. Leader at the time of caution was Guillermo Alvarez by a good margin. William Dunn bringing out the 3rd caution of the night. And taking a look at a replay, looks like Dunn was just trying to diamond the corner, got loose by hitting that curbing. Just not much you can do when your car hits that inside curbing. Just kind of sent him into the inside wall. Good call by the admins to call a caution because that could have been a dangerous position as he started to reverse. Update, by the way, on Alec Daffin, who got spun around, sent towards the back of the field. He has only worked his way up to 22nd. Drivers electing to stay out this time by. Guillermo Alvarez has dominated this early part of the race. So working our 3rd caution of the night under lap 33 of 250. I know to a lot of you this might seem like a lot of yellows, but compared to some of the racing I've seen this week, this is absolutely nothing. I had a league race of the same distance have 34 cautions. So 3 and 33 laps is quite good. Around this time, I'm guessing the drivers are getting 2 to green. We've seen a pretty calm race so far, only a few single car spins that have brought out yellow flags. Lap traffic not coming into play either. Biggest movers so far, I'd have to give that award to the number 4 of Nick Terebuch. Worked his way from 27th to 11th in 34 laps of racing. So far, by the way, I haven't seen a lot of drivers shifting down into 3rd, so it's looking like that's not going to be as big of a factor as I thought it was. Lights are out on... No, they are not. They are still on the pace car. So we are not going green this time by. See the field here rolling through turns 1 and 2. There's Nick Terebuch, the driver who has gotten his way back into nearly the top 10. So he's looking after those stage points. Pace car rolling through turns 3 and 4. I have a feeling we are going to get the 1 to green signal this time by. A sold out virtual crowd here at the Martinsville Speedway. Lights are out on the pace car. We are going back green this time by. It will be Guillermo Alvarez leading the field. So here we go. Going to be restarting on lap 37 of 250. Under 200 laps to go. And with the pace that these drivers are lapping this track, if we go a decent amount of those laps green, that will go by in no time. Pace car is off. Alvarez leading him through turns 3 and 4. Going to stack up the field, lights up the rears. We are back green at Martinsville on lap 37. And a good restart by Alvarez, going to see the rest of the field file in line, down through turns 1 and 2. Everyone making it through cleanly. 3 wide behind. Christopher Daniel going out wide. Daffin splitting the middle. Double file throughout a majority of the field. Couple of battles on track, but it's the 83 car getting away clean at the front. Oh, trouble into the inside wall goes Jody Banfield. They're stacking up in 1 and 2. Hard crash. A lot of drivers involved. Alec Daffin piles in. Caution. Fourth one of the night. Going to see the 98 car go spinning through turns 1 and 2. A hard crash into the inside wall. And it'll bring out the yellow. Now that 98 missing a front bumper. And we'll take a look at a replay. Going to be our first modified of the night. And you'll see it here onto the front straightaway. Banfield side by side with the 94 car. And it looks like it just got dumped. Can't really put too much blame on the 94 of Rowell, though. Banfield, I don't really know. There was a bit of a close call. Banfield had the right to the corner, but at the same time, I mean, there wasn't really much the 94 could do there. Good avoidance by Nick Terebuch, at least in that camera shot. I'm not sure if he made it through the whole thing. Looks like he did. A couple of more cars piled in. The 8 car of Gonzalez was having a good run. Not anymore having that good run. He did just pile into the wreck in 1 and 2. Let's go ahead and go on board with the 4 car of Nick Terebuch as he navigated his way through that wreck. You heard that shift there out of 3rd. Right there, you hear him going down to the 3rd, so one of the drivers that's shifting throughout the field. And you see the wreck happening right in front of him. Splits the gap between the 78 and the 98 and makes it through in P8. Keeps that race car nice and clean. So working lap 41 of 250 under our 4th caution of the night. Again, far better than a lot of the Martinsville racing this week. We will be going green, I hope, next time by. I'm not sure if these drivers are on 2 to green or still on pacing. Lights are still on the pace car. We'll be going back green next time by. Field rolls through turns 1 and 2 behind the iRacing pace car. It's about the only way I can describe it. Not really. I think iRacing in particular said that it was about as manufacturer neutral as you could get. Of course, those caution lights still on, signifying we are still under the yellow flag. Just kind of playing around with the free cam here. Not really sure what to show. 1 car in the pit lane, that is the number 8, that is the 70. Field going back green this time by. Lights are out on the pace car. It will be Guillermo Alvarez leading the field to green. Alright, we're back green this time by at Martinsville. We'll see if we can get a slightly longer run going. Maybe even get to some lapped traffic. That'll come into that'll absolutely come into play if these drivers are able to get going long enough. Here we go. Pace car is down pit road. Alvarez in lane, your top 2. Back underway at the paperclip.
Green flag, green flag.
Down into turn number 1. Guillermo Alvarez leading the way. The rest of the field filing in behind. Looking from turns 1 and 2 here. 3 wide. Alec Daffin going down the inside as they go into turn 3 and 4. Contact. Daffin into the grass. They all keep it straight. We are still green. Yeah, bit of a scramble down into turn number 1. Almost contact there between Cody Smith and Michael DeWell. A lot of aggression here. Still early on, though. If I were these drivers, that just kind of I try and slide in line, just try and stay calm. But everyone looking for the spots they can get at the moment. Cody Smith down the inside. This is the main battle on track for P7. But now here comes Todd Thomas working his way down the inside of Christopher Schetzler. He is going to fall back in line. Adam de Blasio now down the inside of Michael Dewell. That for P8. De Blasio had a nice run going early on, got spun, mired back in traffic, and now he is working down the inside of Michael Dewell to get that 8th place spot away. Dewell cutting down in front of Brad Patton. You got to be aggressive for that bottom line. That 4-car, Nick Terebuch, going out wide, losing a lot of the progress he made in that first run. These drivers just being so aggressive and getting back down to the bottom. Contact. Michael Dewell drives it in on Adam de Blasio. There's a scramble off too as well behind Jacob Fyfe. Just got to wait for these tires to wear out. They're being way too aggressive early on. This track, though, is so just bottom dominant that you can't really get out of that groove and make a move work. You can kind of hang around the outside, but you're definitely not going to be able to make up time, at least not in Martinsville's current form. We are all still waiting for that rubber build-up effect to come back. Diving down into turn 3, a little bit of contact between Dewell and de Blasio. Side by side between de Blasio and Alvarez. He's fallen back quite a bit here. From the lead down to 7th, it's going to put Ethan Lane back up in the top spot. With all this battling going on in the midfield, I forgot to check up on the leaders, and it's looking like Alvarez has taken quite a bit of a tumble. Working lap 50 now, 1/5 of the way through this race. See Jacob Fyfe trying to hold on around the outside of Todd Thomas. Thomas going to drive it down the inside, going to take that 4th spot away. That 34, though, just driving it in deeper on the outside, way out wide. Goes the 1-car of Brad Patton, going to stack him up 3 wide off turn number 4. Trevor Trago losing out big time on the inside. Now here comes that 4-car, Nick Terebuch on the outside. Still caught out on the outside line of the caution. Looks like we might have had a wreck off turn number 4? Not quite sure. Nick Zotner, though, in the 97 going slow to bring out our 5th caution of the night. On pace for about 25 yellow flags. So let's hope we don't stay on that pace. We'll take a look at a replay. And the battle here was between Zotner and Banfield. And Zotner just getting loose off turn 4. Saved it. No, he didn't. Slams into the number 19. And that is what brought out the caution. Still, the lights are back out on the pace car. Ethan Lane, your race leader, Tom Wetmore, has found his way into 2nd with Christopher Schetzler up into 3rd. So far, we are yet to see any use of that front bumper to make a pass, although I have a feeling that is going to change as the night goes on. Go ahead and have some more fun with free cam while we work this yellow flag. Right there you see the damaged number 97 of Nick Zotner having to let the field pass. Not coming into focus. 1 car in the pit lane, that's the number 1 of Brad Patton. I believe that might have just been for damage repair. You see a little bit of damage on the front end of that 1 car, a little bit on the back as well. And we got to turn off manual focus. Back up to your race leaders. Lights are still on the pace car, so we are not going back green this time by. And of course, the number 83, Guillermo Alvarez, one of the drivers who was leading early on. I'm guessing the drivers have gotten 2 to green this time by. Alvarez fallen back just a little bit. That's what's that sponsor? I can't tell. But either way, Alvarez has fallen back. Currently mired back in traffic. Ethan Lane, the driver who has inherited this race lead. I had a feeling he was going to be pretty good today. We know how Martinsville, I mean, it drives pretty similar to a road course, so being good on road courses can play a huge benefit, and we have seen that quite a bit early on. So the pace car working down the front straightaway. We are probably going to go back green next time by. Yes, indeed. The lights are out of the pace car, so we are going back green on lap 58 of 250. We'll see if we can get to lap 70 this time by. Pace car's in. Ethan Lane gonna lead the field down from the front. Green flag, we're back rolling.
Green, green, green.
Bit of a stack up now behind the 78 of Todd Thomas going down into turn number 1. Everyone getting on the brakes nice and early, respecting each other's rear bumpers. But they're all going to keep it clean, at least through those 2 turns. Down towards turn number 3. Fyfe cutting down in front of Thomas. Alvarez trying to make the outside work. Alvarez hanging right on Fyfe's door, side by side through down the front straightaway. It is Lane over Wetmore at the front of the field. Contact behind. He's going to save it. No. Into the outside wall goes the 48 of Daffin. They're piling up, and the caution is not going to come out. Now it is. Caution is out. Alec Daffin, one of the drivers involved. This is a little awkward. Leaders are coming by now. They're going to be a lap down. Daffin going to make it around the number 50 car of Kevin Matz. But we are under caution for the first time tonight. Or not the first time, what am I saying? For the 6th time tonight. And they are still piling in. And Kevin Matz has given it up. Well, that was a little awkward. Let's take a look at a replay. And it was definitely after the restart. I've gone a little too early this time by. About 1 lap in. They all piled up going into turn number 1. Alright, so you're going to see it right here. Adam de Blasio cuts down in front of Cody Smith. Smith gets hit from behind. Dewell into Smith, locks it up, and spins it in front of Trevor Trago. He actually saved it for a bit, but he got through the grass, kept rolling, and bam, right into the 48. That stacked him up into Trago, into Crow, and that collected the drivers behind. Kevin Matz just spun out as a result of all the contact, and got spun right into Alec Daffin, and that's where we saw that little kerfuffle going on. But Kevin Matz has given it up. We're under our 6th caution of the night. I have a feeling the drivers are not going to be too happy with each other. A lot of aggression early on, and I just don't quite understand it, but this does seem to happen in pretty much every race that I've seen at Martinsville. Drivers just get really greedy early on in the run, like to go for a lot of big moves, and none of them tend to work out. Alright. Let's have some more fun with free cam. Oh, I think I was. Oh, there we go. Why don't we take a look at the pace car driver? The iRacing pace car driver. I can't keep up with him. He's too fast. You know what? Why don't we give a shout out to... Where is he? There he is. Barney the Flagman. He's been throwing all these yellow flags, and I'm not sure what we would do without him and his majestic yellow flag. I am going to really quickly turn off manual focus, because I have a feeling that that's going to mess some stuff up. So, we'll be right back. Okay, we're right back. Manual focus is not on. iRacing just doesn't like focusing on things. But we're bored under yellow, so I'm not sure what else to do. Lights are out of the pace car. We're going back green, this time by Ethan Lane, going to be your race leader. And everyone take a look at Barney the Flagman. He's been calling all of the yellow flags tonight, and I think we all owe him some thanks. All right. Green flag for the field as they enter turns 3 and 4. Pace car is in. Ethan Lane is down and away. We are back racing at Martinsville. Down into turn number 1. Ethan Lane has the lead early on. They're piling up on the outside behind. A couple of drivers going wide. Todd Thomas right now on the inside of Jacob Fyfe. They're all stacking up going into turn number 3. But they all keep it safe so far. Adam de Blasio now working the inside of Jacob Fyfe down towards turn number 1. Bit of a checkup. Locking up the brakes is the number 18 of Cody Smith, but they all keep it safe. Down the back straightaway, Ethan... trouble! Ethan Lane has pulled off the racetrack. He might be out of the race. Okay. Race leader is called to quits. Ethan Lane is pulled down onto pit road, handing the lead to Tom Wetmore. This might be our first retirement, or he might have had to stop for fuel. Well, either way, Tom Wetmore has now inherited the race lead. Is Ethan... He might just be done.
Alright, caution is out.
Whoa. Okay, caution is out on the racetrack. Ethan Lane just drove through the pit lane, did not stop. Caution is now out. I think it was Adam de Blasio. I have no idea what just happened with Ethan Lane. Well, that was interesting. Let's see what happened to bring out the caution, because I was so focused on Ethan Lane completely giving up, I'm not entirely sure what actually did. There it is. Big crash in turns 3 and 4. And I have a feeling it might have just been a checkup that sent de Blasio around. We'll take a look at a replay as I will try and get a word with Ethan Lane. Well, first we'll look at a replay. There it is. Checkup and Cody Smith sends the 85 around. That is what brought out the caution. Now, let's try and get a word with Ethan Lane, see what he has to say. Ethan, it's Jonathan Oates up in the TMG broadcast booth. You got us?
Yeah, I got you.
Well, we just saw there under green, you came down pit road, rolled through, and you came back out a lap down. What happened there?
We changed lanes on the restart. Had to have to.
Okay. Well, that's about all we have. I'm going to go ahead and send you back. Were you from Channel 1? I want to make sure I send you back to the right place.
Everyone else is.
Alright. So we'll go ahead and send you back now. Apparently, he got a penalty for changing lanes on the restart. I'll be honest, I have not done enough research on this league because I did not know that was a penalty. But that is going to put Ethan Lane way behind the 8 ball because he will have to go 1 lap down. Now, he is going to get the lucky dog. He got quite lucky with that yellow flag. And a couple of drivers even electing to pit. The 24 machine of Christopher Schetzler bringing it down. Todd Thomas as well. Jacob Fyfe. So a lot of drivers trying to get fresh, 4 fresh Goodyear tires on their racing machines. We're 71 laps in. It's a little bit surprising to me. Because I feel like the tires really haven't worn much. Just considering the fact that we haven't really been under green for a lot of this race. But if you drivers do decide to bring it in, is anyone else going to come in as a reaction? No. So the first driver out on fresh tires is going to be the 24 of Christopher Schetzler. We'll see what he can do as a result of those fresh tires. I suppose we should go back live. But Schetzler in P15, the first driver on 4 fresh tires, working our 7th caution of the night, on pace for around 28. So let's try and get less than that. All right. Lights are out on the pace car. We're going back green this time by. Let's go ahead. You know what? Let's go ahead and have some more fun with free cam, shall we? Turn our attention to Barney the Flagman. Gonna get the green flag out. He's ready to go. Pace car gonna make that left turn onto pit road. The field rolling through 3 and 4. We're back green at Martinsville. Through turns 1 and 2, a big jump by the 51. I completely forgot his number. He is going to get out in front. Battle for second behind Nick Terebuch. Right now leading over Brad Patton for that second spot. Everyone single filing through turns 3 and 4. Up the track goes Victor. Okay, that's a new name. Goes Felix. Gonzalez hopped out of line, looking to make a move down the inside. Michael Dewell to his outside. Going to try and get a run side by side with Lee Pierce. Headed towards turn number 3 and 4. Ethan Lane making up spots in the back. Currently 25th. He is going to work his way now down the inside of Jody Banfield, who is, actually no, Ethan Lane is not making up spots. He is still a lap down. Felix going out wide, Dewell down the inside, side by side for the last spot in the top 10. Into the wall. Goes the driver behind, I believe that was the 18 car. And by the way, with all this going on in the way of racing, I haven't actually paid attention to who has won Stage 1, but I do believe it was Ethan Lane. Stage 2 coming to a close at lap 130. No battle for the lead to speak of. It's Wetmore over Patton over Terebuch over Alvarez. First battle on track for P12. Thomas going down the inside of Felix. Felix losing spots really fast. Fyfe going down the inside on Felix. Thomas having to block up, trying not to get into the back of the 78 caution. One around in turn 1, 2 around in turn 1. Bringing out our 8th caution of the night. Jay Heischman, one of the drivers involved. We'll take a look at a replay. Looks like Zotner might have just been a little bit aggressive there. He came down in front of Banfield trying to block. We'll see what happens here in a 3 and 4. And he completely caused that one. Zotner put Banfield into the wall and spun himself out in front of Heischman. Heischman locked up to avoid it. But that is not very good driving out of the 97 of Zotner. He may have been parked because he is not on track. Working lap 80, 8th caution of the night. Yikes. One driver down the pit lane. Few drivers down the pit lane, a lot of them to repair damage. Wetmore stays out on track. Well, not much to talk about at the moment. Why don't we go on a tour of Martinsville Speedway? That sounds like it could be fun. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of what this track has to offer while we wait for the pace car. Let's go ahead and activate our drone cam. Turn 1, we've seen this be one of the more precarious spots on the racetrack. It's a pretty heavy braking zone. In a way, it's a lot narrower than turns 3 and 4, which is strange because you'd think that this track is symmetrical, but turns 1 and 2 has always tended to be a little bit tighter, a little bit narrower than 3 and 4, but that also makes 3 and 4 a trouble spot in its own right. Let's go ahead and take a little trip down to turns 3 and 4. The way that this corner is a little bit wider, it means you have to arc the entry a little more. And that has the adverse effect of meaning that if you open up your entry too much and someone sees it as an opportunity to pass, you could end up with a little bit of contact in the left rear and a spin, ending up right around that Pepsi banner on the outside of turns 3. Turn 4 also seems to be quite a bit of a trouble spot. Something about the way the banking leaves the corner, there's like a little bit of a bump right around there. It means that for some reason, drivers are it's really easy to get loose. And it's weird, because again, it doesn't seem to happen as much in turns 1 and 2. But 3 and 4 especially seems to be a little bit of a trouble spot. Again, a sold-out crowd here at the Martinsville Speedway for Race 7 of the Integrity Racing League 2021 season. Lights are out of the pace car. We're going to be going back green this time by. Go ahead and traverse our way onto the start-finish line. Barney the Flagman. Going to go ahead and switch that yellow flag to a green flag. And we are about to be back underway. Pace car is in. Here we go.
Green flag.
Green flag is back out. We're back underway for Martinsville. Through turns 1 and 2, it's going to be the 51 of Wetmore leading away. Bit of a stack up behind as they head down towards turns 3 and 4. Wetmore still in the lead. They're all stacking up behind. Up out wide is the 83 of Alvarez. A little bit of contact in the back, but we stay green. Through turns 1 and 2, it is Wetmore leading away over Brad Patton. Up into the top 5 for the first time tonight. Alvarez still trying to make up spots. He led early on, fell back. He is back up into 4th and looking for 3rd on Terebuch. Single file for a majority of the field, just trying to get back in line. Alvarez right now really just on a recovery drive. Is he going to boot the 4 out of the way? He got close. One of the easiest ways to pass at Martinsville is that good old bump and run. Just get to the if you can get to the back bumper of a guy and move him out of the way, it is the easiest way to pass. We have a caution. Spin in turns 3 and 4. I do believe it is Michael Dewell. Backed up and into the outside wall. We were just talking about it. Turn 4, a bit of a trouble spot. Michael Dewell seeing the bad end of that. 9th caution of the night. Yikes. So you'll see it right here. Going into turns 3 and 4, and I think I know what this might be. Or not. Or I don't know what this is. No, I do. That 42 car clips the apron, slams into Dewell, and around he goes. That's going to bring out our 9th caution. That's right. We've had 9 cautions. Back live. This could set a record for the most amount of cautions in a race on TMG. In fact, I think it already has. I'm not sure if we've ever gone above 9. I know this won't be the most amount of cautions I've ever seen in a race. I've seen 34. Have you seen 34 cautions in a race? I bet you haven't. So still Tom Wetmore in the lead. One of the multiple leaders we've seen tonight. I was slightly hoping we might be able to get into a green flag run here, but I don't think we are going to be able to. It's okay, though. Sometimes you have to enjoy the chaos. It is Martinsville, after all. Although sometimes I run out of things to talk about. How about strategy, huh? First driver on fresh tires was Christopher Schetzler. He has worked his way up into 11th from P15. So, not that many green flag laps, but Schetzler making good progress on the field with those fresh tires. Definitely helping out the grip off the corner. Rear tires wear out quite quickly here at Martinsville. One of the keys to saving those tires is getting a nice straight exit. But saving tires is not important because we have wrecked quite a bit. If we do get a green flag run, it will definitely come to play. I don't think we're going to get one of those. I'm going to be honest. Now, you can't entirely blame the drivers, though, because the setup that I know these drivers are running, which is not the fault of the admins, they are simply running the iRacing default. It's not the best. It's quite tight through the center, and if you hit the curbing, you die. So it could have been, you know, a lot better. All things considered, I think that this has gone decently. Hopefully we go back green next lap by. Really, I think these drivers just need to settle into a run. I mean, you can't, especially with a setup like this, you can't be racing really at all, at least, you know, until 10 laps into a run. If I were them, I'd just kind of chill out, wait for a little bit, and wait for opportunities to present themselves, because, I don't know, whatever they're doing right now isn't particularly working well. We are approaching that lap 100 mark. Stage ends at lap 130. Dorman, to answer your question in the chat, yes, I am currently by myself in the booth. Alright, here we go. Pace car going to make that left turn into the pit lane. We are going to go back green this time by at Martinsville. Lap 92 of 250. 9 cautions so far. Let's get to 10. That one's a joke. Please don't. Pace car is off. Green flag is back out. Tom Wetmore leading him away. Got to make sure to make that lane change after the line, but down towards turn number 1. Wetmore going to get a nice gap over Patton. Patton, one of the more aggressive drivers on the short run. Haven't seen him too fast tonight. Scramble off turn 2. 3 wide as we go into turn number 3. Rowell falling back. 3 wide again. Felix falling back on the high side. Almost into the wall, off the door of Rowell. Here comes de Blasio down the inside of Rowell. Nearly got into the 88 of Duell. Back up to the front. It is currently Wetmore over Patton. Patton getting closer and closer to the bumper of Wetmore. Working lap 94, coming to 95. We have made a 2-lap screen after the restart. This battle for the lead, though, going to heat up if we can stay green. Brad Patton a lot faster right now. Diving down into turn number 3 and 4. Actually, you know what? No. This is not as bad as it could have been. Because I've seen B-Fix races, which are only 70 laps, have 9 cautions. We've made it 90 laps with 9 cautions. So it could be worse. Off turn 2. Patton still trying to run down Wetmore. Towards turn number 3. He's getting really late on the brakes. Yikes! That got close with a bumper. But they have both gapped the field. Wetmore is now pulling away by a little bit. These top 2 not shifting it down into 3rd. Don't want to burn up those rear tires too fast. Nick Terebuch has made his way up into P3. Single file throughout the majority of the field. And you hear Terebuch just inching back on the throttle. That's how you got to get these cars rotated. We've gone green for a decent chunk of laps here. That might also be iRacing sound just completely glitching out. I don't think he's being that abrupt.
All right, man.
And a caution! Big stack up off turn number 4. Trevor Trago spun around in front of the field, as well as the aid of Gonzalez. Oh boy. And, oh no, Gonzalez nearly just wrecked the race leader, trying to get it back around. Luckily, that disaster was averted. Let's take a look at a replay. And, well, just pretty much wiped out the 8, and then proceeded to wiped out Trevor Trago. So, not a great run by Michael Duell. Why don't we go on board with the 88? Yikes. Well, that definitely could have gone a little smoother, working our 10th caution of the night, but we have made it to lap 100. How's the chat doing? There are 9 people watching. I hope you're all having a good time at home. I'm having a good time, kind of. Right now, we are on pace. If we've had... Alright, let's do the math here. We've had 10 cautions in 100 laps, which means that in theory, by lap 200, we'll be at 20, so we're on pace to get around 25 yellow flags by the end of the night. Yikes. Lights are on the pace car still. Lights are on the pace car still. We can give a shout out to the league, to the league sponsors. Oh, I actually forgot to have the little sponsor graphic up there. My bad. And a shout out to our league sponsor, Pro Powder and Paint. This race is not sponsored, the individual race. Okay. Lights are out on the base car. Let's try this one again. Tom Wetmore going to lead him off from row 1 alongside Brad Patton. We are going to go back green on lap 104 of 250. Let's try and get some green flag runs in, hopefully. A couple of bent up race cars. At the front, though, Tom Wetmore's car is still looking pretty clean. Green flag.
Green flag, green flag.
And a good restart by Patton is going to see him right on the bumper of Wetmore, down to turn number 1. Wetmore going to be all over, Patton going to be all over Wetmore's bumper going into turn number 3 and 4. Trying to get to the rear end. Back to the front straightaway. Nearly contact off 4 for 3rd. Terebuch way loose off turn number 4. And okay. I don't really know what's going on. I'm guessing it's a lane change penalty. He just gave up all those spots, but I'm guessing it was for changing lanes. Back up to the front, Brad Patton still trying to put the pressure on Todd Thomas. Let's find out what happened to Terebuch, because I have a feeling Patton is not getting around him anytime soon. Alright, so I'm guessing it was a restart violation. No, that... You know what? I'm not sure. He might have just wanted to get out of the chaos of that kind of midfield. That would not entirely surprise me. So on board with the one car of Brad Patton trying to run down Tom Wetmore, working lap 108 of 250. On the brakes once more, headed down towards turns 1 and 2. Battle for 3rd, Guillermo Alvarez stacked up behind Thomas. Eric Crow behind, side by side with Alec Daffin and Cody Smith. Smith, Daffin, side by side into 3. Way up the track goes Eric Crow. 3 wide. Oh no. That's why I said oh no. Around goes the 18 in front of the field. Caution is out. Once again, 11th caution of the night. Well, let's take a look at a replay. It all started in 3 and 4. Crow went charging up the racetrack and stacked up everybody. That's too far back. Hold on. One moment, please. Okay, he was blanking out quite a bit. But you're gonna see... Oh, something happened before that. Okay, hold on. He just went in way too hot, slammed into Alvarez, went way up the track, stacked them all up, and oh no. A little bit of netcode involved as well. You're going to see Daffin here didn't actually get into the 18. No, well, he did. But that contact sends the 18 around. Not really rightfully so. You can blame the iRacing damage model for that. Stacks up in front of the 48, and around goes the 18. So the caution is out. 11th caution of the night. Is anyone going to bring it into the pit lane? Doesn't look like it. At this point, going that far back would not be a good idea. You don't want to get stuck in traffic. How is the chat doing? Are we doing good tonight? Very glad you're spending your Monday evening with us, watching some chaos unfold here at the Martinsville Speedway. Ooh, here's something we can do. Why don't we take a look at some of the best paint schemes in the field, given we don't get one to green? Are we going to get one to green? No, we are not. Let's go through some paint schemes, shall we? We'll go ahead and start off in a rear chase cam. We can then go ahead and look through the cars. We got Tom Wetmore, the black and white and orange Tube Tech Toyota Supra. That's a pretty nice car. I appreciate the TMG logo. Brad Patton. It's a little bit beat up at the moment, but a very nice black, white, and teal paint scheme. Todd Thomas with the Bush Beer throwback. Ethan Lane with a very simple 3-color high-performance motorsports machine. Big fan of that one. Guillermo Alvarez, Black Mamba Racing Machine. That's a very nice paint scheme. I really like the red and the black and the white. I think it looks cool. Alec Daffin. I can't really see the number, so I'm gonna have to give this. I'm gonna have to dock some points. Eric Crow, very nice number font, a very simple paint scheme. We are going back green, so let's stop looking at paint schemes. Tom Wetmore gonna lead us back to green. We are back in our way. Here we go. Don't change lanes. Oh, no, no, no. Okay, he didn't change lanes. We're all good. Ethan Lane might have changed lanes, though. That's, he did that earlier in the race, so let's hope he didn't do it again. But down the back straightaway, Tom Wetmore leading the field. Ethan Lane, after getting that lane change penalty, has worked his way back up into third. But I think he did it again. Everyone safe off 3 and 4. Back down towards turns 1 and 2. Car on the wall. That is going to be Jacob Fyfe. Keeps it going. A little bit of contact almost between Lane and Patton. I mean, in a way, what we're seeing right here is just quintessential short track racing. Chaos, bumping, banging, the works. Looks like Ethan Lane not going to get a penalty for changing lanes before the start-finish line. Trying to work that second groove in. Get back down to the bottom. Maybe try and go for a little bit of a crossover. We are inching up on halfway. Ethan Lane going to the high side, trying to make that groove work. Not going to work out for him, though. He's desperately trying to make that pass on Brad Patton. I mean, he's really driving it in there. He is desperate to make that work. Trying to be Chase Elliott. I don't think it's going to work, though. We saw that second groove come in towards the end of the Martinsville Cup Series race, but I don't think we're going to see it with rubber buildup not really being a thing on iRacing. Coming to 10 to go on the stage. Trying that second groove again. He might have to use the bumper here, though. Just can't really drive it off on exit like he'd like to. I mean, really, the best way to pass at Martinsville is to move that guy in front of you out of the way, but you gotta be safe about it. If you're gonna do it, it better be because you're faster than him, because once you're in front of him, you gotta drive away. If you don't, he is gonna be coming right back at you. Big dive by Ethan Lane, still trying to get that run working. They're all stacked up, by the way, behind Todd Thomas. If one car gets him out of the groove, he is going to be freight trained right to the back. Yeah, they might be getting a little impatient here. Jacob Fyfe right now holding on over Eric Crow. Crow might have gone a little bit wide. Tom Wetmore still in the race lead. Closing in on the end of the stage and closing in on lap traffic. What would you do for a stage win? It's 10 points and a playoff point. So Brad Patton might have the opportunity to shake some stuff up here if he can just get to the bumper of Wetmore. These two drivers, some of the best in the points. Coming up on 6 to go on the stage. We're green right now, I believe. We might go green to the end. I'm really hoping we can. Or not the end of the race, at least the end of the stage. See Wetmore taking a very sharp line down into the corner, exiting. He's entering really high and exiting at a caution. Trouble in, I believe, 1 and 2. And it's Guillermo Alvarez. One of the faster drivers in the field gets spun around and brings out our second caution of the night. Second, 12th. That is not even close to the second caution. We will take a look at a replay. So it's going to be, I believe, off the bumper of Alec Daffin. Oh, actually no. He drove it in too deep, locked it up and got into Thomas, and then spun around, bringing out the yellow flag. So let's go back live. Tom Wetmore brings it into the pit lane. Championship implications because Jacob Fyfe is going to be able to inherit the race lead. A good majority of drivers staying out as well. All these guys were the ones who stayed out last time. So the last one, quite a few drivers staying out, by the way. I think Tom Wetmore, the first driver into the pits from your race lead. Good drive by Wetmore so far. Started around mid-pack. He has worked his way into the lead. Let's check back in on the chat. See how y'all are doing tonight. I hope you're doing well, and I do mean that. A couple of people in the chat hoping to move that 78 car out of the way. 78 would be Todd Thomas. I'm not actually sure what was going on track. Few drivers coming in to serve damage repairs, but it will put Jacob Fyfe in the race lead. Tom Wetmore, the first driver on tires. Yep. I can now confirm that that is correct. Tom Wetmore going to be the first car on tires. All right. 2 to green this time. Bye. This is fun to watch. It's pretty fun to watch from a chaos standpoint. We're over halfway, by the way. We have made it to the halfway point of this race. Let's see if we can clean it up a little bit as we get towards the end. I do believe that if these drivers... If we did, in theory, go green to the end, and I'm going to have to put a lot of emphasis on this, might be able to make it. On fuel, that is. Alright, here we go. Lights are out on the pace car. Let's have some fun with free cam as we go back green this time by. Barney the Flagman has the yellow flag in his hands. That will change to the green flag. He's finally coming into focus. I mean, it's taken a while. Give iRacing a minute. But now there he is. Barney. Alright, yellow flag's put away. Let's get this race back going. Pace car off 4. Green flag is back out. Jacob Fyfe leads him to green. Trouble into turn number 1. Lockup out of the 88 of Michael Duell. He's leaning on the 85 to Blasio, but they all make it through in a caution immediately. They're wrecking in turn 1 and 2. Patton, slow on the racetrack. 13th caution of the night. We're on track for over 20. We'll back it up. And yikes! 3 wide into turn 1 was never going to work out. And we saw it right there with Brad Patton going up the track and into the wall. I think we might need to go a little bit further back to get a full grasp of the situation. So the green flag's back out. Fresh tire cars looking to make up spots quickly. And down into turn 1, Daffin made the move on Patton while Thomas made the move on Daffin, and that was never going to work out. Contacted on the 1, and around he goes. Not really sure if I can place blame on anybody, but I still think it's a little early to be racing. You don't want to go that hard right after the restart. Tom Wetmore, still the first driver to take tires, is now up into P8. Gonna put him on the outside for the next restart. Alright. What else can we talk about here under this fine caution? Do I have a Discord? I do not have a Discord. At least TMG doesn't. And that is what I'm going to promote. I will keep my personal things and TMG things separate. That 24 car, Christopher Schetzler, has made his way into second place. "13 cautions so far tonight. It's been a bit of a slugfest out here. Again, not the worst, not the most amount of cautions I'm going to see at Martinsville, but definitely a pretty high number. All right. Lights are out on the pace car. Let's get this party restarted. That was not a good joke, and I apologize. Green flag.
Green.
A good start by Jacob Fyfe is going to see him in the lead. Stacking up behind that 2-car Felix is the 78 of Todd Thomas down into turn number 1. Lane diving down the inside of a few cars in the back. Now Adam de Blasio trying to slot in line on the inside of the 24 of Schetzler. There's contact off 2. Down towards turn number 3. Wetmore strung out of the high line. There's a gap down low if he wants to take it. Locking up is the 26 of Ethan Lane. Now trying to get around the outside is Wetmore. Sorry, Thomas. No, I had it right the first time. Wetmore. Patton trying to make the move on the outside of the number 18 car. Contact between Thomas and Crow. Stacking up in front of the 2-car of Felix. Down towards turn number 3. Wetmore still now on the inside. Not going to give up that spot quite so easily. Definitely want to stay on that inside line if you can. He's up to 7th. Oh, and by the way, stage winner, Jacob Fyfe. Tom Wetmore down the inside, going to take the spot from William Dunn. Dunn falling back. Contact behind, maybe, not quite. They all kept it straight. Working lap 140, or coming up on lap 140. No battle for the lead at the moment. Everyone's just kind of stacked up behind Jacob Fyfe with a decent amount of space between them. Lane with the runoff 2, going to work down the inside of Michael Dewell. Locking up big. Oh, Dewell gets sent into the wall. Caution again.
Caution is out.
Dewell got tagged and sent straight into the wall, and they stack up trying to avoid him. Kyle Wetherell gets spun around. Michael Dewell, one of the drivers who did not pin under the last caution, gets sent around, bringing out the caution. Well, we'll skip it forward. Ethan Lane just making a massive... I mean, it wasn't really a dive bomb because he had the overlap, but he got way too deep on the brakes. Slammed Dewell out of the way. Got kind of netcode tagged by the 51 of Wetmore and went straight into the outside wall. And now you're going to see the rest of the contact. Wetherell plows down into the 4-car, and they wreck off turn number 4. So the caution is out. Once again, on lap 142 of 250, we're inching up on 200 to go. Yeah, I will admit this is not the cleanest race I've ever seen, but for Martinsville standards, this is better than you would expect. Let's see. We're about 140 laps in. That's about, what, 7 cautions every... That's about a caution every 10 laps, so it could be worse. I mean, and also you gotta consider, I mean, it's Martinsville on a sim where one, there aren't consequences to wrecking, so naturally you kind of have less of an instinct to play it safe, but also on a sim where the damage model is really sensitive. If you haven't noticed, there have been some like minor contacts which have sent cars around, which definitely plays into it quite a bit. So you can't really put all of the fault on the drivers, but, you know, it's a heavy braking track, and in general, at tracks where you have to slow down, like, a lot to try and make the corner, you're just going to end up with a lot of wrecks. Short tracks in general are pretty messy, but just in... Oh, and another thing. The setup in the B car that I know that these guys are using, because they just use the default iRacing setup, it's not good. It's really tight through center. You really got to get it slowed down, so overall, it's just not a good combination of events. I would like a Ford to win. I think a Ford winning could be pretty cool. Adam de Blasio has gotten up in a second. A lot of this is just going to be a race of survival. As I readjust my pedals, which I accidentally just moved out of the way. All right. Lights are out on the pace car. Let's try this one more time. Pace car is off. Well, by one more time, I mean several more times. Fyfe from the top lane is going. Green flag is back out.
Green, green, green.
Four wide, down into turn number one. I don't know who thought that was a good idea, but they are all going to stack up, and they make it through cleanly. Incredible. I have no idea how they didn't all wreck there. Probably because they're saving it for this lap. There goes one of them. Felix ran into the inside wall, and the caution is back out. Oh, and they've wrecked again in turn one, haven't they? No, they haven't. They're all fine. 15th caution of the night. Take a look at a replay. I think it was the curbing again. Yep, curbing got him. I mean, Felix just kind of minding his business, running his line, and he touches the curbing, and bonk, around he goes. 15 yellow flags so far. We are on pace for... Yeah, I think we're still on pace for our original bet of around 25 yellow flags. So how's everyone's day going? Is it going well? I hope it's going well, because... No, actually no. My day has gone quite well as well. You know what? Let's do something here. Let's have a little fun while this race is under yellow. What is everyone's favorite type of pizza? Personally, my favorite type of pizza is cheese pizza. And you know what? You know what? If you don't want to share, if you don't like pizza in general, then let me know what your favorite kind of burger is. And if you're vegetarian, well, I'm out of ideas. What is your favorite kind of salad? We'll be inclusive. There is no reason for me not to be inclusive. I don't know, man. I'm just trying to find stuff to fill the time. Lights are still on the pace car. So we're gonna wait another lap, and hopefully we'll go green then. Exactly. Well, that's true, that's true. I mean, I just think in general cheese pizza, it's good, you know? It's very good. But of course you're allowed to have a different opinion. I mean, it may be a wrong opinion, but Okay. I think we are going, saying this very slowly, green this time by Jacob Fyfe, going to line up as your race leader. We've had 15 cautions in the first 152 laps of this race. If you want a Tom Wetmore update, he pitted under the last caution and is currently in P16. Green flag.
Green flag, green flag.
That got close into turn 1. Lane crowded up the track and nearly got into Schetzler. They all make it through behind. Down the back straightaway, Jacob Fyfe is leading. Side by side for second between de Blasio and Lane. Christopher Daniel now on the inside of Eric Crow. That for P8. Everyone shuffling around behind, trying to get to the bottom of the racetrack. Tom Wetmore up into 14th place. Out wide goes the 06 of Jay Heischman. Couple of fast cars here, mired back in traffic. For example, we got Wetmore and Alvarez both mired towards the back. And a spinner, turn 4. Caution is out again. Kent Wetherill goes around, collects a couple of drivers, puts us under a 16th caution of the night. Let's look at a replay. So, Wetherill goes into turn 3 way out wide, and, I don't even know. It looks like the 28 kind of came up on him, and they all just kind of stacked into the inside, but at the same time, I think Wetherill should have been on the bottom. To be honest, I don't think I can put blame on anyone for that, but just looked like a racing incident. Just kind of what happens at these types of tracks. Okay. You know what? Let's do something a little bit different here. We've talked about pizza toppings and burgers. How about we talk about racing? Name a couple of tracks, maybe top 5. Top 5 tracks that you would like to see added to iRacing. They don't have to be ovals. They can kind of be whatever you want. I would like Roseville, Portimao. I'll think of a few more. Get an update on some of the storylines throughout the race while you guys think of what kind of tracks you want on iRacing. Ethan Lane, he's been dominant ever. Actually, he got the lead from How did he get the lead from Jacob Fyfe? I think I missed something in all the chaos. We should look at a replay. A lot of this race has been looking at replays. It looks like Ethan Lane just got down to the inside and took the lead right before the caution. So good move on him. I somehow didn't notice that, but he has been dominant in this race, been one of the fastest cars. He was one of the drivers who pitted under that latest caution that people pitted under. So he has now taken that group into the race lead. And I am sorry I missed that pass for the lead. I was focused on the fact that they were probably going to wreck, and I didn't realize that there was a lead change. So that was on me. Sometimes we miss things. It's a little difficult because there's no one here to point those out when I miss it. Tom Wetmore, does he have damage? That's a good question, but I don't believe he does. We'll get an update on the 51 machine. Wetmore does not appear to have damage. Rear bumper's all good too, so Tom Wetmore has kept his car clean. They're at 160 laps of complete chaos. That's about what I can describe it as. All right. Lights are out of the pace car. Let's give this another shot. Under 100 laps to go. We've finally made it. I'm guessing about an hour left in this race. right, drivers, fans in the stands. Let's get this race restarted. Ethan Lane from the front. Green flag is back out.
Green flag, green flag.
And another beautiful restart by Ethan Lane is going to put him out front, diving down towards turn number 1. It's going to be Lane over de Blasio, who gets his way into second. Fyfe tags the wall off turn number 2. They're side by side as they go into turn number 3. De Blasio a little bit onto the curbing there, a little bit onto the curbing on exit. Got to keep it off that curbing. Fyfe going to hold on to the outside. De Blasio, though, going back down the inside. Contact! Oh my goodness, that was a horrendous voice crack and a horrendous hit onto Jacob Fyfe. Sends him into the wall. They're stacking up off 2. 3 wide going into turn number 3. This isn't going to end well. This is not going to end well. This isn't going to end well. Oh no. Okay, it's ended well. Down the front straightaway, Jacob Fyfe side by side with the 78 of Todd Thomas. Down the back straightaway, headed for turn number 3, shuffling around. Down the inside goes the 24 of Schetzler. Stacking up a little bit into turn number 3. Down the front straightaway, coming to lap 165. Car on the wall, it's the 79 of Christopher Daniels. They keep it straight. William Dunn has worked his way into third. A great run by him tonight. Down towards turn 3 and 4. Thomas up the track, trying to push the 36 out wide. Battle for second between de Blasio and Dunn. Lane has gotten away at the front. Battle for second spreading out a little bit now into turn number 3. Big contact between the 78 of Thomas. He's going to slide off the curbing. Stacks up in front of Brad Patton. Almost went 3 wide down into turn number 1. More contact from behind. That could have been bad. Things are getting pretty ugly here at the front of the field. Wetmore trying the outside. Slots back in line. Is he going to lay the bumper to Fyfe? No. Going out wide in 3 and 4 is the 18 of Cody Smith, who's worked his way back into the top 10. Here comes Schetzler down the inside. Patton stacks up in front of Schetzler. Lockup out of the 24. Working lap 167. Off turn 4, Christopher Schetzler still side by side with Smith. They've been side by side for the past few laps now. Cody Smith actually making that high line work. Makes me think the grip might have moved up the track a little bit. Meanwhile, down into turn number 3, Patton sends it down the inside on Todd Thomas. Smith and Schetzler still side by side. Working lap 170. Okay, Cody Smith went way too deep into turn number 1. Got into the bumper of the 78 of Todd Thomas. It'll push him back a little bit. Down towards turn number 3. Still side by side with Schetzler and Smith. They've been side by side for a lot of laps now. It's very hard to get the pass done here at Martinsville. Sideways into turn number 1 is the 51 of Tom Wetmore, who's back up into the top 10. 4 cars under a blanket as they battle for 7th. Schetzler now clear of Cody Smith. Not quite. Smith back around the outside. Now Schetzler finally gets around Cody Smith. They're going to slot in line going to turn number 3. Dive out of the 48 of Alec Daffin, trying to get around the outside of Nick Terebuch. Sorry, not Nick Terebuch. Tom Wetmore. Down towards turn number 3. Daffin cuts off Wetmore and slides into turn 3. That's going to bring out a caution as they pile up into turns 3 and 4. Caution is out.
Once again.
It'll put us under our 17th caution of the night. It's been a bit of a messy race. We'll look at a replay. Yeah, I'm not too sure what Daffin was doing there. Just trying to dive it down the inside on Wetmore. Had absolutely no right trying to make that pass. Gets tagged around by the 06. And that stacks up the field and brings out a yellow. Again. Alright. 17 cautions. And we have pit stops. Pit road is busy down here in 1 and 2. William Dunn staying out of the track, but the rest of the field brings it in, with the exception of a few drivers who are staying out. So Ethan Lane going to be the first one in and the first one out. Last driver on the racetrack to stay out is going to be that 72 of Trevor Trago. He has a lap down, so it'll actually be the 70 of Kent Wetherell. My headphones are not in a very comfortable position on my ears. It is starting to hurt. Into the pit lane goes the 70 of Kent Wetherell. Lee Pearson as well. Jody Banfield as well. Trevor Trago going to be No, he was a lap down. So let's do this properly. The first driver on fresh tires is Ethan Lane. It's going to stack things up just a little bit. William Dunn staying out as your race leader. Other than the drivers who just pitted, the car on freshest tires is actually one of the drivers without a front bumper, the 94 of Alan Rowell. William Dunn has not pitted in 62 laps. He has the oldest tires in the field. I am hungry. I did not bring a snack. This was a mistake on my part. Okay, I put my headphones in a slightly more comfortable position. We are working our 17th OW caution of the night. We are going back green on lap 178. Green flag.
Green, green, green.
Down towards turn number 1. Oldest tires in the field. Takes off from the lead. Into second is the 51 of Wetmore. And he might be able to make this outside work. A little bit of contact. Tom Wetmore holding strong off turn 2. They're beating and banging as they go. And there they go. Adam de Blasio goes around. Caution. Or not.
All right, man.
There it is. Caution is out. Adam de Blasio spins it on the exit of turn 1 and 2. And that is going to bring out our 18th yikes caution of the night. Oh my god. Okay, I didn't think we were going to get over 20. But we are. We are getting over 20 cautions. We'll take a look at a replay. Oh, that's not quite far enough, but I have a theory as to what happened. I think he might have just gotten on the curbing and bounced up into the cars outside of him. Now, I don't know how we ended up 3 wide. That's how we ended up. Oh my god, they went 4 wide. Well, contact into the curbing, and around he goes. I have no idea why we were going 4 wide at Martinsville, but we were, and that led to a caution, unsurprisingly. Let's take a look at this. Take a look at this. 4 wide at Martinsville. Look at this. Look at this. Yeah. I'm not entirely sure how I'm going to get it to unblur, but there it is. 4 wide at Martinsville. Tell your family, tell your friends they've went 4 wide at Martinsville. That didn't end up, that very obviously didn't end up very well. I mean, you can see de Blasio just got pinched into the curbing by Dewell. He bounced back up into Dewell, and Dewell, that was the end of that. I gotta find some way to entertain us, right? Alright. Back live. It's been a messy race, to say the least. But, to be fair, this is not entirely out of the ordinary. This is slightly what you would expect at Martinsville. Especially on iRacing. It's never really been clean. We're working our 18th caution of the night. It does slightly pain me to say that, but it's just how... In a way, it's short track racing, but because that's just kind of how Martinsville has always been. I think I've been in like 1 or 2 clean Martinsville races, and even then clean is kind of relative, so... And you know what? Compared to some leagues, this is clean. And I'm not naming names, but if you know, you definitely know. Lights are out of the pace car. Let's give this one another shot. Race leader, Tom Wetmore, has found his way back to the front after passing William Dunn on the restart. At the time of caution, Tom Wetmore was your race leader. So he's gotten back to the front. However, Ethan Lane is on fresher tires and right behind him. He is not on fresh... Well, he is on fresher tires, but not because he stopped. The first driver on fresh tires actually is Ethan Lane. Never mind. Guillermo Alvarez is lining up right behind Tom Wetmore. Forget I said anything because I'm confusing myself. Green flag is back out. Outside lane stacking up. That's not going to go well going into turn number 1. Gonzalez got really stacked up, but down into turn number 1, it is Ethan Lane on the inside. Following behind Guillermo Alvarez, he's got the fresher tires down the back straightaway. Headed for turn number 3. Ethan Lane muscles his way past the 83 of Alvarez. Headed back towards turns 1 and 2. Freshest tires in the field locking up. And that is going to open the door for Brad Patton to look down the inside. Not going to make the move. Lane up into second. Patton going to try and make the dive into 3, but didn't have the line. And you can see just how much these drivers need to dime in the corner. I mean, these cars just cannot keep it on the bottom. William Dunn starting to free fall through the field on those old tires. Can Jacob Fyfe take advantage and cross under the 43? No, he cannot. Through turns 3 and 4. Look at this. Ethan Lane putting the pressure on for the lead. We're coming up on 50 to go. Contact down the front straightaway. Big dive out of the 26. Caution is out. Trouble on the front straightaway. They have wrecked, and I believe that might have stemmed from that contact. Although I can't actually find where the caution came out from. But I'm assuming it's from Trevor Trago. He is the slowest car in the field. Take a look at a replay. Oh, no it was not. It was the 70 of Kent Wetherill. He has been a little bit of a messy driver tonight. And, yep, just got loose off turn 4. We've seen that happen quite a bit. Brought out our 19th caution of the night. Tom Wetmore has held on to the lead, but that might not last for long. Okay, let's do some math here. We've had 19 cautions through 190 laps. We can assume we're going to get around 2 more before lap 200. That's going to put us at 21 through 200 laps. Divide that by 2. That's going to be 10 cautions every 100 laps, which is about 1 caution every 10 laps. I'm going to sneeze. Give me 1 second. We're back. So that's about 1 caution every 10 laps. Multiply that by 25. That's, yeah, we're still on pace for about 25 laps, 25 cautions. Lights are still on the pace car. I believe the drivers are at 2 to green this time by. Appreciate everyone in the chat coming out. I know this has been a bit of a long one, but we're going to try and get this done soon. Maybe we can actually go green for a little bit. You know what? Let's do a poll. Do you think these drivers are going to get to lap 100? Do you think these drivers are going to get to lap 200 under green? That would be about 9 laps. Well, it's been a great race by some standards, but all we gotta do to complete the Jonathan Oates challenge is get to lap 200 under green. That's about 7 laps. I think it's possible. I definitely think it's possible. Yes, alright, you know what? I agree. I have faith. I think we're going to get to lap 200 under green flag conditions. And I believe that at that lap 200 mark, it is going to be Ethan Lane in the lead. We do not have a lot of cars left. About 21 of the 27 starters, it has been survival of the fittest. Lane's good on restarts. Let's see if he can hold on. Green flag. Whoa!
Green flag.
Got a little loose there, didn't we, Ethan Lane? Got those rear tires spun going into turn number 1. It's going to cost him time. Brad Patton sends it down the inside. Second spot under fire from Brad Patton. Running out of cars to wreck. That's probably a good thing. Ethan Lane has fallen back to third. Brad Patton now in the lead. Off turn 2, or turn 4. Arcing it up in the middle of turns 1 and 2. Now here comes Ethan Lane with a run down the back straightaway. We have probably run out of cars to wreck at this point. Under that last caution, by the way, William Dunn came in and got tires. So he now has the freshest tires in the field. Well, one of the freshest tires in the field. Ethan Lane now trying that second line, trying to get a run on exit. Not going to make it work. 3 cars fighting for the race lead. You can see that line that everyone's having to take. This car just isn't good enough through center, so they kind of got to arc it up. Good strategy out of these guys. Here comes Ethan Lane with a dive down the inside. It was a bold move, but it wasn't going to work out. He didn't have the right to the corner. Brad Patton holds on for now. Patton arcing it up a little bit more through center. Down into turn number 3. It does look like we're actually going to get to lap 200 under green. We might go further than that because we have ran out of cars to wreck. We'll see if Lane uses the bumper here. Oh, I accidentally just moved the ticker. Let's move it back. We know Ethan Lane is definitely the fastest out of the top 3, but Tom Wetmore has been able to hold that bottom line really nicely. Patton gets way loose off turn 2. It's going to open the door for... Whoa, okay, that got close. Oh, that got really close. Patton goes down the inside. Got blocked by Patton. Lane, sorry, goes down the inside. And I have a feeling Brad Patton is going to get a rear end full of Ethan Lane's front bumper. And by the way, ladies and gentlemen, we have made it to lap 200 under green. 51 laps remaining. Wetmore going a little bit wide through turn number 1. Patton trying to look down the inside. A lot of these drivers in good point spots. Contact, they're locking up at a 3. Jacob Fyfe saw an opportunity, got down the inside of Lane. Sideways off turn 4 goes Eric Crow. It's getting wild at the front of the field. Patton holding out of the inside. Lane getting angry behind that 1 car. This is what we like to see. He's trying the inside again. Oh, that's going to get close. It's going to get close. Contact. He's going to barge his way through and around goes Patton. Caution is out.
Caution is out.
And now we're getting aggressive. Lane fighting for the spot, got down the inside of Patton and spun him around in 3 and 4. I'd be lying if I didn't say he had it coming. With that block Patton through into turn 1, it was only a matter of time before he was wrecked. We'll take a look at a replay. Ethan Lane dives it down the inside. Patton tries to squeeze him out because, I mean, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Ethan Lane, that was definitely a dive bomb out of the 26 car. But when you block a guy that bad, that's what you got coming. Patton got doored by the 26 and spun around in turn 1. Sorry, turn 3 and 4. And a great avoidance by Jacob Fyfe to get through. will go on board with the 36 machine. Yeah, you're going to see a little bit of contact there. Fyfe swings it to the right and makes it through. And that is going to put Patton to the back. Decision time. Do you come in? Do you stay out? And everyone stays out on track. Give a call, by the way, to Eric Crow, who has made it up in his... let me try that one again. Up inside the top 5 without a front bumper. So a great job by him to hold on. Man, I mean, it's racing like that, which really makes me like short track racing. I know we got a caution out of it, but man, it was getting really aggressive at the front, and that's some of the best racing I think we've seen this season. Let's go a little bit further back, because I want to look at, I want to take another look at some of the battling we got there. Look at this. I mean, Patton gets loose there, off turn number 4. Watch Ethan Lane, a squeeze to the outside. He's sparking against the outside wall. There's contact as they go into turn number 1. And it's right here that ended up bringing out the caution with a big dive into turn number 3. But the other thing I want to take a look at is if we go to the blimp cam, this will give us a good view of it. We'll skip back another few laps. And this commitment is what I like to see out of these drivers. I think it was this lap. No, sorry, it was a few laps before that. Where, yeah, going into turn number 1. Watch this out of Ethan Lane. He gets a little bit of contact there with the 1 car, moves over to the inside, gets blocked, and just sends it into the grass. Full commitment out of Ethan Lane, and that is what I like to see. Back live. Working our 20th caution of the night, lap 205, under 50 to go. Things are starting to heat up. We're getting a little aggressive at the front here. Alright, lights are out of the pace car. Let's give this one another shot. We'll see if we can get, you know what? Bold prediction time. We're getting to lap 215. Pace car's in. Wetmore gonna lead him to green. Here we go. Green flag is out.
Green, green, green.
And those restarts going to be key for Tom Wetmore. He is not the fastest on the long run, but if he can get a nice gap early on, he might even have a shot. We know Ethan Lane, though, the fastest driver in the field, going to try and find a way around Wetmore. Is he going to have to use the bumper? If you're going to make the move, you got to make it quick. He's up to the bumper of the 51. Ethan Lane was in a position similar to this all the way back at Phoenix a few weeks ago. And he used the bumper to get, and he almost used the bumper to get the spot on the last lap, but they're wrecking in 1 and 2. Trouble. Adam de Blasio gets spun in front of the field. One more into the tire barriers. That's Jordan Gonzalez. Caution is out again. We'll back it up. Take a look at a replay. And you're going to see it here. Might have just been a dive out of Alvarez. And that is exactly what it was. Contact from the 83 to the 85 and sends him around. Collects Jody Banfield, who got pushed up the track for the most part. Everyone made it through until Jordan Gonzalez. Tough break for him. Just got to the curbing, trying to avoid the wreck. Locks it up and slides right next to the barrels. But a 2-car incident puts us under our 21st caution of the night. We are on track to get over 25 at this point. Well, I say we give this a few more shots. We're going to have under 40 to go when we get back green. The tensions are high. We know Lane is fastest and can't get the pass done. Fyfe is there to capitalize if they wreck. It's going to get close. Tom Wetmore has elected the outside. No, he is not, because that is not, we are not going green this time by. Let's take a preview of what we've got coming up here in the Integrity Racing League. After another off week, we'll be heading to, if you thought this was chaotic, just wait, the Talladega Super Speedway on April 26, 2021 for a 75-lap dash around there. And then, oh yikes, we head to the Charlotte Motor Speedway on May 3rd, 2021 for a 200-lap race I just stopped speaking for some reason. I couldn't figure out how to say that. We head to Charlotte on May 3rd, 2021 for a 200-lap race around the Charlotte Motor Speedway. Well, I actually do believe that we're not racing on May 3rd because I think that's Memorial Day. So we might be racing a little after that. Lights are out. No, they're not on the pace car. They're still on the pace car. Yeah, I do believe I've seen somewhere that we're not actually racing on May 3rd. Oh, wait, no. That's not even close to Memorial Day. Never mind. Or is it? I have no idea. Yeah, 200 laps around Charlotte, followed by Darlington, 146 laps, Dover, 200 laps, and then Circuit of the Americas on May 24th, and Mid-Ohio on June 7th. 2 road courses back-to-back. Look for Ethan Lane to be strong there. All right, boys, let's give this one another shot. From the lead, it is going to be Tom Wetmore, still trying to hold on, under 40 to go. Here we go, here we go. Green whoa, I completely messed up that. Green flag. We are back racing in Martinsville. Lane to second, as per usual. Drives it down into turn number 1. Is he going to use the bumper? Time is running out for Lane to get this pass done. Oh, and a big dive out of Todd Thomas going into turn number 3, and that's going to be contact. Around goes the 24 of Schetzler. They're piling up in 3 and 4. Todd Thomas, what are you doing, man? Oh, man. Yeah, that was never going to work. But a big pile-up in turns 3 and 4 is going to put us under our 22nd caution of the night, on pace to go around 26 cautions. We're breaking records, folks, but not in a good way. Let's take a look at a replay. Yeah, this, yikes. That's all I got to say about it. Basically, Todd Thomas was on the outside, cut down on the inside, but it's not a move I'm a fan of, because at that point, I think Schetzler was committed to the bottom, and Thomas just tried to force his way down the inside. No room there, absolutely no reason for him to be here, and just completely dumps him. I am not too pleased with that move. And I imagine Schetzler isn't either. And at that point, everyone just kind of stacks up trying to avoid him. It's a big pile up in 3 and 4. But a very bad move out of Thomas. Going to put us under another caution. Race leader still Wetmore. 22nd caution of the night. We may hit 30, boys. Let's go. This is not a record to aim for. Not a record to aim for. We do have 19 cars left in the running. It has been an absolute demolition derby out here, except for your top 3 with all relatively clean cars. Lights are still on the pace car. We're not going green this time by. Okay, I do think we're going green this time by. inching up on 30 laps remaining here at the paperclip. Yeah, I do think that what they've done is they've switched a race, switched the race that would be on Memorial Day weekend back to an off week in the Xfinity Series schedule, although I can't verify that. Anyways, here we go. Once again, 31 laps remaining at the line. Wetmore is stacking them up. Green flag's back out. He went really early that time.
Green, green, green.
Don't change lanes. Stayed on the inside. Back green towards turn number 1. It's going to come down to, I believe, Wetmore and Lane. Caution immediately. They're reckoning 1 and 2. Ah, jeez. Jordan Gonzalez spins it back around, but it looks like he might have gotten dumped going into turn number 1. We'll take a look at a replay. Green flag flew. Oh, no. Don't tell me. Oh, no, never mind. Okay. That was his own doing. I was worried there that someone tried to dive bomb him from 10 nautical miles back, but that might have just been his own doing. Good on him to lock it up and not get anyone else involved in the mess. Overall, I guess that could have been a lot worse. Back live. Well, let's get a prediction from the chat. 23 cautions, around 25 laps complete. We'll go back in around 25 laps. How many cautions do you think we get before the end of this? Kevin Matz, I'm going on my 3rd official race since quitting this one. I hope you're enjoying Richmond week. I really love that track. I know the grip lanes have made it a little bit more fun, so. I'm excited to get some official done this week. Richmond's pretty fun. I, personally, if I had to give us a ballpark estimate for the amount of cautions, we just beat the record for the most cautions in a NASCAR race all time. Honored to watch history with you all. Thank you very much, Avatar 8885 Gaming. Yeah, I gotta admit, it is slightly what I expected. It's Martinsville, it's iRacing, this stuff happens every race, so nothing out of the ordinary. If anything, a little bit cleaner than I thought. Can we get to 30 cautions? That's the real question. But no. I do believe we're going to get around 25 cautions before the end of this. Pace car going to make the hard left turn next time by, not this time by. Like I said, I hope everyone's had a good night. 28 cautions. I think it's possible. We'd have to get a lot. We'd have to get a few green-white checkers. And I think if we did that, I think we could get to 28. There are now 19 cars remaining, effectively 18 competitive cars, and only 16 on the lead lap. We've ran out of cars to wreck and then found more. I'm a little bit concerned. Okay. Let's give this one another shot. Green flag is back out. We're backing away at Martinsville, and a much better restart by Ethan Lane is going to put him a lot closer to the bumper of Tom Wetmore. Down towards turn number 1, 25 laps to go, and Ethan Lane's got to get the move on quick if he hopes to get this race won. Down the back straightaway, everyone piling through turns 1 and 2 behind. A lot of drivers looking to make the move into turn number 3. Ethan Lane still trying to put pressure on the bumper of Tom Wetmore. Looking over to the inside, maybe going to try the outside, sideways into turn number 1 of the bumper, goes to the back of the 51. Just couldn't get him out of the groove. 24 to go. I should replace that thing that says Martinsville subtitle, but I think at this point it's not worth it. Lane is all over the back bumper of Tom Wetmore. A lot of pressure facing that 51 machine. It's hard to be in a position with that much pressure, especially against someone who you know is faster. But that is the spot that Tom Wetmore is in right now. Nick Terebuch, after starting from the back, has worked his way up to 4th. Ethan Lane trying to get the run off turn 4, 22 laps remaining. It's going to be a duel in Martinsville to settle this race. Lane has been putting a lot of pressure on Wetmore, diving down to the inside, or we're going to see contact. Not that time by. He's making that move to the outside, trying to get a nice run. We've seen that outside lane. Oh, here he goes, here he goes. Off turn 2, he's moved to the outside. Wetmore defensive into turn number 3. 21 laps to go, coming up on 20. Wetmore holds on. Is Lane going to cross him over to the inside? Not yet. They are side by side through turns 1 and 2. Now, here comes Jacob Fyfe from 3rd. If Lane is going to make a move, it's got to be the inside. He's still trying that outside line. He's gone wide, though. Here comes Jacob Fyfe. Lane holding on. Almost contact off turn number 4. 19 laps remaining in Martinsville. Rolling turn 1 and 2. 4 cars under a blanket for the lead. Eric Crow has brought himself back into the top 5. Coming up on 18 to go. Tom Wetmore has been perfect this last half of the run. Ethan Lane has not. He's slipped up a few times. He's got an opportunity now to go down on the inside. Down into turn number 3. Ethan Lane is still trying to make that move work on Tom Wetmore. Is he going to lay the bumper this time by? No! Keeps behind. Down into turn number 3. Contact! Wetmore going out of the groove. He stays on the bottom line. Ethan's pushing. He's really pushing now. He got sideways off turn 4. Another shot at the 51. 16 laps to go. We could see another restart yet. Lane falling off the bumper of Tom Wetmore. Wetmore pulling away. A bump and run is going to be what it takes to get that 51 moved. Nearly contact. Lane driving it back down to the curbing. That 51 machine has been perfect this last half of the run. The bumper to the back of the 51. Stays on that bottom line. Wetmore is doing a phenomenal job under pressure, but Ethan Lane is pushing hard. Still trying to get him moved. Down the back straightaway. Now Fyfe looking at a move on Lane, while Lane looks at the move on Wetmore. Rolling 3 and 4. 13 laps remaining. A big dive out of Wetmore. Ethan Lane trying to get the run off. It's going to be these two up at the front. 12 laps to go at the stripe. Contact again. He's going to move him. They're beating and banging off turn number 4. Lane with a huge block into turn number 1. More contact. Fyfe trying to send him. Lane's going to get turned if he's not careful. Fyfe is still falling off the bumper, but the longer Ethan spins behind this 51, the longer those rear tires are being burned up on that 26 machine. Longest run of the night is now. 11 laps to go. Is he going to get to the bumper again? Adam de Blasio gaining on the lead pack as well. Into the wall goes Ethan Lane off turn 4. Back down into turn number 1, 10 to go. The battle is as close as ever. We're coming around to 9 laps to go. Lap car ahead. Bumper again to the 51. He's staying on the bottom. I don't know how Tom Wetmore is holding off Ethan Lane as well as he is, but he has been perfect. Lane is railing on that rear bumper. Moving to the inside again. He can't get that move done. He is just all over the back bumper, coming up on 8 laps to go. He's driving it in again. If it comes down to the last lap, will he turn him, and will the admins have anything to say about it? Fyfe waiting in the wings. Now here goes Terebuch for 3rd. Contact in 3 and 4. Wetmore all over the curbing. Terebuch slides into 3rd. Is he going to go for more? He's going to stay back for now. Ethan Lane is frustrated. You can see it in the way that he's driving it into the corners. Quintessential short track racing at the front. This is what, I mean, really, this is what stock car racing is all about. 6 laps to go. He's trying to move him again. Eric Crow has found his way into the top 5. I gotta take a sip of water. This is getting intense. Lane wrapping the bottom, and here comes Terebuch. Is he gonna try and move him again? 5 laps to go at the line. The top 3 separated by 1/10 of a second. Terebuch moving over. We're going to have a new driver try and give it a shot, and Lane gets turned. He saved it. Fyfe in a second. Lane goes sideways. He's out of it. He's out of contention. Ethan Lane gets turned sideways in 1 and 2. It'll be down to Fyfe and Wetmore. Can Wetmore pull away? Jacob Fyfe and Tom Wetmore both going for their first wins on the season. Adam de Blasio in the same spot as well. Fyfe is closing. 3 laps to go from Martinsville. The gap at the front is shrinking. Fyfe was faster last time by. But here comes de Blasio. As the fight for second turns on, it could be Tom Wetmore running away with this. 2 laps to go at Martinsville. Tom Wetmore has been absolutely perfect this last half of the run. He has held off from behind. We're going to go green to the finish. Side by side for second in a turn number 3. Fyfe up the track, and here comes de Blasio. White flag, 1 lap to go. The battle for second is on. De Blasio up the track, pushes Fyfe with him, but Tom Wetmore is surviving at the front. Into turn 3 for the final time. Tom Wetmore gonna survive the pressure to win at Martinsville, the 51 to victory lane. Tom Wetmore, he was perfect. That last run of the race, he held off pressure from Ethan Lane, and he got to the point where Lane gets turned around in turn 1. He has won it at Martinsville for his first win of the season. Gonna burn it down here on the front straightaway, Tom Wetmore. First win of the 2021 Integrity Racing League season. And it comes at the Martinsville Speedway. And really, just a beautiful job by Tom Wetmore to get the job done. I mean, he had to survive pressure from almost every driver in the field, and he was able to come through. I mean, he made it from the back multiple times, and in the end, he is your race winner. Let's go ahead and pull him up into the booth. Thomas, Jonathan Notes up in the TMG broadcast booth. You got us?
Oh, I sure do. Jonathan, how you doing, man?
I'm doing great. Tom, I don't even know how you did it. You had Ethan Lane on your back bumper planted for a solid 30 laps on the last run of the race. You were able to hold off. Just how did you get that done?
Man, I got to give it out to some of the guys who have helped me. I haven't had a ton of time to practice this week, and, you know, luckily I got the guys from Tube Tech LLC. They're watching the race tonight from out of town down in North Carolina. The two of them are sitting there watching. Glad I could put on a show for them, and really happy to have them on board, as well as the guys out of Atlanta, Georgia, Garage Moon Power. Man, those guys wanted to be on the car this year, and I'm so stoked to have them. So stoked they're all watching tonight and get to see us bring home a W.
And I mean, another thing I gotta ask, the amount of times you had to go to the back because of either pit strategy or getting just, involved in wrecks. I mean, the amount of times you had to go back there for you to still fight back to the front. I mean, what was the key to getting those passes done? Because it couldn't have been easy.
No, it wasn't. And I have to give a shout out to, Chris Schetzler, Don Stevenson, Jacob Fyfe, Will Dunn, everyone who puts this league on, because there's a penalty in place that if you take out another driver, it's an end of longest line penalty. And unfortunately, I got one of those tonight by contacting Michael Duell there, and I'm sorry about that. And a couple other drivers did too. But, coming through the pack there, we decided that track position was going to be key. So according to my crew chief, I have 161 laps on these tires, and Ethan had about 70 laps fewer. So holding him off, I wasn't sure how much more my rear bumper could take.
Yeah, and another thing I got to ask you about, I mean, we were talking a little bit in the pre-race show about what the keys to success here are, and other than survival, what was it that got the job done and kind of made it easier to hold on to all that pressure? Really, just what was the key to getting a good spot here?
I joked earlier this week, I said, use the bumper and don't let the bumper use you, but that didn't prove to be the key to success tonight. The key to success turned out to be track position. Unfortunately, we were plagued with a couple cautions, guys hitting the curb and some other stuff that upsets these race cars. And track position turned out to be key, and luckily these old Goodyear tires held on, Jonathan.
Yeah, I mean, you were out there for a long time. You had to go through a lot of pressure. I'm sure, you got to be proud of this win. Anyone you'd like to thank for the result?
I got to thank the guys over at Depth Esports. They were definitely giving me some motivational talks when I got that end of longest line penalty there. I thought for sure my race was over. They talked me out of it. We decided to be smooth, methodical, and then made the bold pit strategy to stay out on, 30, 40 lap old tires, and was fortunate there was enough cautions to kind of get us bridged till the end. I'm not sure what happened to Ethan there, but I noticed that he wasn't in second anymore, so I'm guessing when the field got bunched up, contact must have happened.
Well, either way, huge congratulations to you on this win. We're going to go ahead and send you back. Thank you for joining us, and a special thank you for keeping your car on track during the post-race interview so I can actually show it on the broadcast. That's not something a lot of people do when they win, so I very much appreciate it.
Well, I got to soak this one in, Jonathan, so I'm going to stay out here for the rest of the night. I hope you don't mind.
Hey, I'm fine with it. We're going to go ahead and send you back, and like I said, huge congratulations on this win.
Have a good night. Thanks again.
You too. I think I sent him to the wrong channel. Well, either way, that was Tom Wetmore, who was able to get the job done. An incredible fight to the finish between him, Ethan, Lane. But in the end, Lane was not the driver who came home second. It was Jacob Fyfe, who took advantage of some late race drama and slotted into the second spot of the podium. We're going to go ahead and bring him up now. Jacob, it's Jonathan Oates up in the TMG broadcast booth. You got us?
Yeah, I got you, man. How's it going?
It's going really well. Jacob, you took advantage of some late race chaos there when Ethan Lane kind of got pushed out of the way. Is that kind of what got it done, is just taking advantage of the misfortune of everyone else? Because I noticed that, I think on sheer pace, you might not have been kind of in that second place spot, but you were able to play everything right and came home in second. What was it like out there tonight?
Yeah, I mean, that's basically what the strategy was. I figured at some point him and Wetmore would get together, and I was hoping to take advantage of that. And just the bad part was, is just at the same time that happened, I got caught in a battle with Nick there, battling and Adam, and I lost a couple spots there in the end. But just got too tight trying to get to Wetmore. But yeah, I mean, that's really the deal. It's just you had to be conservative tonight. The brakes were awful with this setup, so you couldn't overdrive the corner, and that's something that usually I'm good at, and I can overdrive the corner and still maintain the car. So yeah, it's just kind of backing it up 10% and not being overly aggressive, and that really paid off in the long run.
Yeah, I actually just realized that you came home in fourth and not second. But in any case, I mean, you were still able to get a really good spot out of the race tonight. I think you mentioned a lot of it was just putting yourself in a good spot, not making a lot of mistakes. I know that you said that you got a little tight trying to get to Wetmore, but for a lap there, it looked like you might have been running him down. Had that race in the end, maybe even a couple more laps, do you think you would have had anything for him?
Well, I'd have had something for Wetmore. It just, if we had some longer green flag runs, the time I had fresher tires than Ethan and Wetmore, but the guys behind me, who were ahead of me eventually, Adam and Nick, had newer tires than I did. So we might have still come together and ended up battling it out. But I definitely thought if we got some green flag runs and kind of got away from those two, I thought I had a pretty good chance and had a good strategy. But we were just too bunched up at the end, so you really couldn't do anything with the tires.
Yeah, in any case, you were still able to come away with a nice 4th place finish. Anyone you'd like to thank for the result?
Yeah, I mean, thanks to Pro Powder and Paint for sponsoring the league. They do a really nice job helping us with our expenses. Thank you guys for, after a couple weeks off, welcome back. Glad to have you back broadcasting the races, and just glad to be a part of it.
Well, we're excited to be back. We got a nice battle there at the end, and you were able to come home with a 4th place finish. We're going to go ahead and send you back. All right. Hopefully I sent him back to the right one. If not, we'll probably see him move in a second. I actually didn't realize that, but Jacob Fyfe lost out in the end. To the next driver we're going to be interviewing, Adam de Blasio and Nick Terebuch. Let's go ahead and bring one of them up into the booth, starting with the number 85, Adam de Blasio. Adam, it's Jonathan Oates up at the TMG broadcast booth. You got us?
I gotcha.
Well, man, you drove a pretty quiet race out there. You got sent to the back a couple of times. I think you even spun once or twice, but you were able to come home in second. What was it like having to fight your way through the field all those times?
I got dump lap 1. So that was a telling story of how my race was going to go. I think I got turned 3 times and restarted dead last 3 or 4 times. Coming up through the field was actually pretty fun, to be honest. But yeah, I don't really know what else to say, because it was actually fun during the green flag racing.
I mean, yeah, it was definitely pretty chaotic out there, and we saw a lot of drama, a lot of spins, a lot of crashing, but I mean, in the end, I still think the best drivers came home in the best spots. What were the keys to mastering this track?
I did my first lap ever in qualifying, so I had to use the first half of the race to learn what the car was doing, since I haven't driven the Xfinity car in a while, since the Atlanta race. But what I found was you had to save the right front so that you can turn under someone off from a corner, and you couldn't lock up the brakes going into a corner, which was super easy to do. I think you gotta think of it as a Ryan Blaney line based off from his Xfinity broadcast, where he's talked about wrapping the curb and not getting on the gas too early to burn up that right front.
Well, huge congratulations, because you were able to come up with a really solid finish despite all the trials and tribulations that you went through throughout the race. Anyone you would like to thank for the result?
They're not my official teammates, but they're the 3 people I run with in this league. Tom Wetmore, who had a pretty decent finish tonight. He was super happy. Brad Patton and Trevor Trigo. They kept me awake during yellows. And then just want to shout out to the cupcake car. My cat is on my car, if you were wondering what that was. So I did it because I felt like it. So a rainbow cat car is always kind of cool.
You know what? I see absolutely nothing wrong with a rainbow cat car. Congratulations on your 2nd place finish. We are going to go ahead and send you back.
Thank you very much. And also, thank you for broadcasting this. I forgot to ask. Or thank you for that. Sorry.
Well, I enjoyed it up here in the booth. I mean, we had a lot of cautions, but in the end, we got a nice fight for the win. And yeah, like I said, congratulations. We'll send you back.
Have a good night.
You too. And that was Adam de Blasio, driver of the number 85, who came home in 2nd place. Last interview for the night, and after that, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up, is the number 4 car, Nick Terebuch, who had to go a lot of controversy to come home in his third place finish. I did not phrase that very well. Whatever, let's go ahead and bring him on. Nick, it is Jonathan Oates up in the TMG broadcast booth. You got us?
Yes, sir.
Well, it was a pretty dramatic race out there for you. You had to start from the back. You got an EOL at the start of the race. You fought your way to the front a few times, got shuffled to the back quite a few times, and you were still able to come home in third. What was it like out there?
It was like a minefield, you could say. It was like, I don't know, man. It was a long 2 hours, let me tell you that much.
Yeah, I mean, we saw a lot of chaos out there, a lot of yellows, but under green, it still seemed like a lot of the best drivers still were able to get to the front, and that includes you. What were the keys out there to being successful around this racetrack?
Honestly, I would just say it's about getting the car set in the corner low as soon as you can, and just like letting it roll. And then as soon as the car is pointed off into the exit, that's when you start getting on the gas. I think a lot of people, I don't know, trail brake a little too much or hit the gas a little too soon, but honestly, I just found the most success by being really patient on the gas.
Patience is definitely a big key of tonight, saving those rear tires as well, I imagine. But all in all, it seemed, regardless of your car advantage, extremely difficult to make a pass. But you were able to make quite a lot of those tonight. What was the key to trying to get around someone?
Well, aside from waiting for mistakes to happen and cautions, just getting to the bottom. And I think even if the bottom kind of checked up, you could ride the bottom and eventually it would pass everybody who's up top. Unfortunately, I had to, well, I didn't have to, but I accidentally ended up hitting Ethan around like 5 to go. So that's one way to do it too, but I don't recommend doing that. But yeah.
Well, you still came home with a very strong third place finish, last spot on the podium. Who would you like to thank for this result?
Well, I want to thank everybody that watched, family, mom, dad, Chris. I want to thank my boys that watched, Josh. I think Justin also watched. And I want to thank you guys for broadcasting again. Thanks for sticking around for the carnage. And see you all, I guess Talladega it is, right?
Yeah, I believe Talladega is next. I actually have the schedule pulled up, so I can just go and let you know. Yes, Talladega is next on April 26th. Sending one week off, followed by Talladega. So following Martinsville with Talladega, that's going to be pretty chaotic.
Yeah, 2 great times in a row.
Yeah, well, we're going to go ahead and send you back. But congratulations on your third place finish.
All right, thanks, man.
No problem. And that was Nick Terebuch, driver of the number 4, who brought it home P3 last spot on the podium after a chaotic race at Martinsville. And for TMG, that's going to do it. This has been the coverage of the 250-lap race here at Martinsville for the Integrity Racing League. I'm Jonathan Oates, and I am signing out. We're going to see you all in 2 weeks' time at the Talladega Superspeedway for what's sure to be a very entertaining race. We'll see you all next